to do that because Rubik plus Magnus is an old school combo that was played a long time ago when Magnus was always mid and Rubik was position 4. You would come in with that gank, you would lift into skewer back on the tower.
Right.
And they had an opportunity to do that there, but they messed up the timing a little bit.
Good job by IG to be able to pull this creep wave back away from Yang, but Yang has still managed to get his level 3, a crucial level. Nice, there it is. Telekinesis into the skewer back. Ramses, he does have a teleport if he wants to go for it. They've already used all their stuns after all.
Yeah, he had that mango, so very easy for him to use it, TP back. But he has to be careful. He just used that TP now for 70 seconds, he won't have it.
Yeah, he can't afford to get caught in another combination like that. Our mid lane going very even. Abed, 1 CS up, but several denies down.
We've seen a couple of pucks mid. Usually the panel and everyone watching this current meta likes the puck more on the 4, but some players can definitely make it work, and Ori is just fantastic on mid lane.
What do you think it is about Ori that makes him
he just
so
used
good
that TP
at
now
this
for
mid-lane
70
puck?
seconds, he won't have it. I don't think it's necessarily the puck.
Can't afford
I haven't seen him play the puck way too many times,
like
but the way he plays overall fills me with confidence that he's going to be able to.
Several denies
Down.
down.
Nice puck game too.
We've seen a lot of people, but DY in some trouble here. Evil Geniuses will get the first blood on their favorite child of Arteezy playing the hard carry.
Eventually that has can definitely make it playing as a tri-lane with the tiny anti-ancient apparition combo.
What do you think it is
One
about
bash
Ori
is
that
enough
makes
and
it
you can take down
so
the
good
Viper.
at
Now
this
for
mid-lane
70
puck?
seconds he won't
like
have it.
Ramses
I don't think it's necessarily the puck.
decent for
I haven't
himself.
seen him play the puck way too many times, but the way he plays overall fills me with confidence. It's going to be a lot of goals. Nice puck game too. Yes, which isn't horrible. He's versus 2. I think he's doing fine.
Will get the first blood
But you want to have Ramses as tanky as possible mid lane.
He would have lost that 1v1, but Ori doesn't stick around for it because Crit was making his way about Ori that makes it. May have just secured refill on the bottle for the Storm Spirit. Unless he actually TP'd over the tower and used all of his abilities to snatch that Arcane Root away from Abed. Smart play by Ori.
Abed still has a mango and a solid, which isn't horrible. He's versus 2. Like position battle in the mid lane, he was really smart about it. He has to be careful now. He is playing versus an Arcane or
he would have lost that 1v1, but Ori doesn't stick around for it because Crit was making his way about Ori. May have just secured refill on the bottle for maybe TP'd over the tower and used all of his abilities to snatch that Arcane Root away. Still from Abed. Smart play by Ori in the lane.
Just need mana.
Yeah,
it's good when you're a Chen or an Angry, you can take that creep, but when you're a Zoom, I think you'd rather find something different. I'd rather even have the movement speed.
And Aura, just so you don't spend some of your mana, you can always have Scorched Earth or Devour. Abed, about that time for a Storm Spirit. Oh, well, it wasn't the time to die, Abed.
About that time to die to the neutrals?
I guess so.
I don't think so.
Unfortunate, but he was just trying to get his level 6 from the neutrals and
he did get
against that puck anymore. I mean, he didn't get that level 6, so we'll see what he does as he revives.
I always respect Storm in the current state of the game because you can create a lot of space and be the playmaker. Also, you scale really well. Versus these heroes on the side of VG Gaming, you will need that gap closing ability in your Ball Lightning just to get on top of the Wyvern the way Yang did it in that last match.
Level of Infernal Blade, that's because they do have Ori coming over with the coil. They quickly kill Arteezy, and now that they've slowed down Flying as well, they should be able to chase him down. Fly turns around, tries to get some damage out of Yang before he falls.
On the top lane, they're chasing Ramses.
Skewered forward, the Aphotic Shield will hold for now. It breaks, but they're running out of damage. They need to be able to get another hit from Eurus, but Ramses rather, got a little stuck in the trees there.
I thought they might actually even swap lanes now and send Yabadon on the bottom lane, but they do not do that. Void went back towards bottom. He's level 4 versus a Doom that's halfway to his level 6. I don't think this is a great lane for Arteezy any longer, but if you continue bashing, it is.
Crit. I think he was trying to maybe get a toss on a PYW into the tower, but not able to get into that right position. A win for VG Gaming on both the side lanes leads them now to a net worth lead.
Also, the mid lane went fairly well for them with that puck rotation. He's also higher net worth by 500 than the Storm, so It's looking scary for EG. They still need a couple of levels on their heroes, and then they can start making plays. Most importantly, I think that you need to give this AA a way to get his 6. Because if you notice the way Arteezy played Void in the last couple of matches, he always rotates as soon as he gets that chrono, and he tries to make a couple of kills early on, so that Abed isn't the one that has to be rotating. He can just scale much, much better.
Right. See what he does when he does get that level 6. Who's going to be targeting? Is there someone specifically that you would like to see shut down with the Chronosphere rotation?
I guess killing the Magnus would be optimal for them, but he's really beefy. It's difficult. Also, there's always a possible Winter Wyvern reaction, so you have to be careful about that. I think this isn't an easy Void game. I think...
No.
Puck, however.
Okay, Chronosphere into the mid lane to be able to bring down Ori. Certainly a squishier hero, to be sure. DY was almost there with the counterplay, but now he may be a secondary kill as the magic damage of the Storm Spirit is just enough. They do have the toss, but Arteezy is taking damage from this Doom. And now that they have the Scorched Earth, it's going to be even easier to bring him down. Crit. Unable to do anything there. He tried to go for a deny, but...
He was lucky that Eurus missed the shockwave there, so he wasn't able to catch up. They went on the Puck, I think. This is the answer to your question. Puck is the squishiest one. You take him down fairly easily.
The one most affected by that kind of AoE lockdown. And now allows the Storm Spirit to close that net worth gap between the two, but it is still Magnus getting farther and farther ahead.
At least AA, we see Fly here on the bottom lane, just farming away, getting creeps, getting experience, most importantly. That's why the way Arteezy plays is really significant for EG at the moment. They always have these position 5s that really can utilize that big power spike of level 6.
And it seems like a pretty popular trend. Crit, gonna be able to get the toss back here. Eurus, of course, has both the RP and the skewer.
I was surprised he didn't go on to AA.
Yeah,
I really think he could have killed him.
DY, stuck in the trees here.
Storm is rotating in.
Evil Genius is trying to make a big move. Eurus, he's a little bit low on mana and is going to be scared into potential silences. Yeah, Ramses is going to be able to get that stack off, held in place, and Eurus is just going to fall. No opportunity to be able to get off the RP. Now the Avalanche slowed down DY enough that Abed's going to be able to catch up to him into the tree stick. Go.
I'm actually surprised that they gave up on the Magnus and the Wyvern the way they did here.
Yeah.
We see DY die now as well. Meanwhile, on the top lane, they are taking the tier 1, but this Magnus is your carry. It's not some random mid Magnus that's going for blink and just needs to use that RP or some off lane. This is your carry. This is your win condition. You shouldn't be letting him go that easily.
Photic Shield going to be stolen by PYW as they go to defend their tower, so this trade-off does mean that they have a tower advantage, even if it did cost them a couple of heroes.
And the best thing that this Ruby can steal, almost the best thing, but a Photic Shield in this kind of a game, it's going to do wonders for them. Storm Spirit suddenly cannot get on top of someone and easily take them down. They also have two heroes that are literally pick-off oriented. You have the Storm and the Tiny. You have Tiny that's going to be going for that Blink Dagger, and Storm that's going to be jumping the back lines, so that the Photic Shield will be super significant. Pair that with a Bracer or two, and you have unkillable supports.
Yeah, you're going to have double saves as long as he keeps stealing that Photic Shield. Call the Brace and that Photic Shield that they have. It's going to make things even tougher for not just the pick-off heroes, right? But also for this Void when it comes to his Chronos. You already said these heroes are tanky enough. They can survive through the Chrono, especially if they get a helping hand.
Yeah, the AA ulti will definitely be there as a follow-up on that Chrono every single time. But that's where DUI comes in handy with his Cold Embrace. Game did slow down by quite a bit. We can see Abed and Void farming at the same spot, which means there's gonna be a smoke, and they do use it.
Heading towards Yang.
He has Ice Armor though, and the Outpost is his. They're waiting the...
They're gonna have to use the Ice Blast here. With the help of Abed, this will be a much easier kill. Adding in some magic damage against that Frost Armor you were talking about helps a lot.
They also used a couple of TPs here. They tried to come in and help him, but Rubik is the only one that went with it. Didn't really help out at all. you're in this position in a game in which if you get chronoed, you're dead. They will take you down together with the Void, so... perhaps they could play with the Wyvern behind their course, but he might die.
Oh, Artur, stop it. Managed to get double batches onto DY. DY inside the trees.
Here comes the
He'll
Doom.
be safe for now. They do have the Doom up on Yang, but he's a little bit scared with Ramses there. Is the problem. Abaddon always being a hard counter to that ultimate.
Yeah, they're so careful with their movements. Top lane Storm.
Gonna find the pickoff here on PYW. Runs him over. Dominating streak already for Abed. Back over to the bottom lane. Ramses copping some damage here. Is holding on to his ultimate, so he can level that up if he feels like he's in real danger, but it won't be forced out of him unnecessarily.
So far, Vici Gaming, they aren't truly decisive with their movements. They aren't using their big ultimates. On the side of EG, they are making a couple pickoffs here and there. They haven't been able to take down any objectives, but they are getting kills. Still around 1k behind. That's understandable considering you're playing versus a Magnus. With that Empower, he can really scale and farm very fast. This might be a smoke mid lane. They're behind Puck, all four of them. I'm wondering why they didn't wait for that Blink Dagger on Ori as it's about to be completed, but...
Push forward into the Dire jungle. Now, Evil Geniuses, they don't have a whole lot of heroes in that area, but they're going to wrap around, and this will help them secure that mid-tower area.
Yeah, but look at their positioning. It's fairly perfect. Tiny sitting on the other side of the tower. They know. The scan is there.
They're going to have to reveal themselves. They are going to try and get some damage on this tower. The Ice Blast coming out, as well as the Avalanche, and they just back up for a moment, but now that those abilities have been used, Vici Gaming come back with even more confidence.
It's what Panel has also been talking about. You don't really want to fight when you don't have Chrono on the side of EG. It's your biggest team fight ability. It is up now, but it's a little bit too late as they lost another tier 1.
So all that team fight from Vici Gaming does score the early mid tier 1 tower, always a big objective, and it puts our Mag actually 1k ahead of anybody else in this game.
I think one of the biggest reasons why they aren't able to defend these tier 1s is the fact that they did pressure Abaddon a little bit in the laning stage. You can see that Ramses is not his usual self. He doesn't have that super amount of farm coming from the laning stage, and in the recent games he's pretty much always had that, as a Timbersaw Enchantress says as well.
Yeah.
And because of that, he's unable to just stand in front, be that meat shield, prevent them from pushing. But now that they have a Puck Dagger, though...
PYW gotta start digging. They did get the trusty shovel here. A Van Brace for Eurus, found in the Dire jungle.
He has one Bracer. Possibly he's going to buy another.
They've got a lot of damage coming in. The level 10 talent for the Doom now up with the Blink Dagger of the Puck. This is a very key timing for Vici Gaming. It feels like it's a little similar to Game 1, where Vici Gaming had this really clutch timing at about 15-20 minutes, really powerful, and EG just tried to stay away from them for a very large period.
Especially when Magnus completes his BKB as well. That's going to be huge for them. After that, they're completely ready to fight, and Storm's damage is pretty much nullified.
Speaking of the Storm, trying to go for that Bloodstone.
Yeah, he was thinking. About the Rubik perhaps on the top lane too, but moves back. Very interesting, Eurus blocked his Bracer. Does that mean, yeah, he doesn't have a secondary one, so he doesn't really want to finish off the Van Brace. He's already tanky enough, I suppose. And one problem with finishing off the Bracer is the fact that you're utilizing that one item slot with an item that you can't sell later on.
Yeah.
So that's heavily debated right now within the pros. Between the pros.
Between the pros. Between the pros. Between the pros. Between the pros. Between the pros. Between the pros. Between the pros. Between the pros. Between the pros. Between the pros. Between the pros. Between the pros. Between the pros. Between the pros. Between the pros. Between the pros. Between the pros. Between the pros. Between the pros. Between the pros. Between the pros. Between the pros. Between the pros. Between the pros. Between the pros. Between the pros. Between the pros. Between the pros. Between the pros. Between the pros. Between the pros. Between the pros. Between the pros. Between the pros. Between the pros. Between the pros. Between the pros. Between the pros. Between the pros. Between the pros. Between the pros. Between the pros. Between the pros. Between the pros. Between the pros. Between
Is it a good concept? You're buying something, but you can't sell it later?
Right. Well, I can feel it. The early BKB, I always love strength Van Brace because it's effectiveness of giving it to a support later on to the game. But I can understand how this BKB timing is so core to Eurus. Because then he's just going to be able to kind of run at Evil Geniuses. And for the most part, a lot of magic damage on their side for now. They do have the Winter's Curse into, okay, they do have a lot of damage coming into this Doom. Can they finish him off in time, though? Yang still protected by the Cold Embrace, but it's not good enough. A little bit too much magic damage. Coil, but with Ramses on the front line here, the Coil now broken. Abed, he's going to be able to pull a lot of these heroes back. Taking off both of these supports instantly. Evil Genius is now pushed forward as Ori slowed down by the time dilation. They're going to be able to get the RP on one, but the up-body shield waking up Arteezy. Can he get a time walk off, taking off this damage? No, he's going to be doomed by Yang. Pulled back into his doom. But Abed gets the kill onto the mag. They actually are still winning this fight, even after the buybacks and toss over there. What? Oh, poor Fly. Crit. He just sacrificed Fly for the good of the rest of EG, it seems.
For the good of who? He could have survived as well. I think he had the Avalanche toss on something different, but he tosses him on the A. Anyway, MVP of that fight was definitely Abed, the way he played. He had Regen Rune activated, and because of that, he was able to zip through the Chrono twice. And as he has that auto attack on, he's able to hit the Doom while he's doing that, dishes out a ton of damage. Arteezy does get the kill in the end, but then he's able to also go in the backlines on these two supports.
Yeah,
and he's actually unstoppable right now. He got another kill.
Full mana, plus the Avalanche coming in from the side. Really nicely done. Another pick-off on Ori, man.
Ramses in this team fight, I don't even have to talk about this guy anymore when it comes to his positioning. He just moves next to the Void, uses his ulti after the RP, is able to use the shield.
I think that's what I really liked about the Abandon pickup. A counter to Doom, but also a good counter to the Mag. They're going to be able to get the toss back here. PYW in range of the Abandon, jump forward by Abed. Telekinesis is actually stunning him. A Winter's Curse controlling these heroes in the AoE, but do they have the right kind of follow-up? Crit still positioning himself to try and bring down PYW, tosses the Mag over into him with the Avalanche onto the two cores. Ramses is stuck though. Without his borrowed time, he's going to be in serious trouble. Chased down by Eurus, activating his BKB to finish off the opposing offlaner, but doesn't have anything left in the tank to catch these heroes.
So they just used the first BKB on Magnus. They did get the Abaddon, which is really good for Eurus. It gives him some extra gold too, but overall you just fought without that Void. And you didn't necessarily really do too well in that team fight. Void wasn't even there. What's going to happen once he comes? He has Mjolnir completed.
Yeah, the completed Mjolnir, so now he's able to put some damage in. When a hero is Cold Embrace like that, he could still do a good amount. They are really fighting, though, tooth and nail to keep their mid-tower advantage alive. And it's cost them a few heroes, but the net worth is still even between these two teams, even if EG has a larger net worth lead.
I think EG does a bit more with the net worth on these heroes because you are playing versus a Magnus and a Doom.
Yeah.
So naturally, these heroes should have an advantage when it comes to gold gain, at least.
Yeah.
But this tier 1 that you mentioned before is very significant for them and their playstyle because it allows them to play around this Void and stop him from these aggressive movements a little bit easier.
EG pushed out as the 20-minute runes and outposts.
Good ward. They're smoked up.
They could actually catch somebody. They're going to be able to find Yang here, pushing him in with the Ice Blast on top of a Chronosphere. That was a lot, but it definitely ensured the Yang falls.
I'm pretty sure they thought about taking him down without the Chrono there, the way they initiated, because also what could have happened, Void just jumps in and Chronos him, and then it's the same thing, right? But they realized he's a little bit too tanky. They use the Chrono. They're satisfied with that because now the tier 1 on the mid lane, it's left exposed.
What do you think about this build? We see Tesso for the puck. You've got the phase shift attack plus the 30 damage. It really seems like Ori is focused on being able to scale in this game.
I mean, I don't know how I feel about that because they do lack damage. And it is a decent item on puck since the last couple of patches. But you're up against the Storm. He will be jumping on you, on the Rubik, on the Wyvern. You don't have that one defensive item that you usually get, that you usually need in this kind of a game.
Yeah, I would have thought the Magic Damage Burst against Void Storm would have been more effective for this game, right?
Exactly, versus Void, versus Storm.
The backline of an Ancient Apparition died very quickly as well. But Maybe in part because the Abaddon and all the sustain he provides. Crit gonna toss DY away so he can try and get into the trees and TP out. But Ori finds him with the coil. And now Crit will be falling here. The Ice Blast to toss over onto DY. Does he get the kill? On toss and Avalanche a little bit more, but he's just barely the ticks.
He's fine.
Thanks to the pipe barrier coming out. They don't actually take into place. Skewer attempted, but whiffed there from Eurus.
Yeah, that's a good kill on the Tiny. They Crit and Fly, they tried to go on the Wyvern, but he was smart enough to use the Cold Embrace, and the pipe obviously helped out quite a lot. Desolator is completed on Puck, by the way, so we're about to see how much he'll be able to do. I haven't seen this build built way too often recently, especially in this tournament.
Yeah, we mostly in the playoffs came around. It felt like everyone was doing the magic damage builds. He does have Empower as well, which makes him, you know, a little bit more effective with physical damage. But we shall see. It's definitely going to take some clutch Winter's Curses and RPs for a Vici game to make use of all this.
He's queued up an Aghanim Scepter instantly after. They will have a ton of damage with the Dream Coil, with the Skewer away from the Dream Coil, and both of these spells are ready right now.
So you want to go near the mid lane, Ramses. He's been planting himself here. Okay, with the Skewer back, they're going to try and bring him down twice, basically. Ramses has his ultimate, buys him a little bit of time. Evil Geniuses, they are all running over here. They may be grouped up for an RP. And sure enough, there's the Chronosphere. Put the Ice Blast on it too. And look at Abed jumping straight to the back line, grabbing the Winter Wyvern. They still manage to get out the RP, and that's going to be Ramses dead, but RT's a little bit too tanky for Eurus. Eurus trying to retreat with a remnant of his BKB, but Abed chasing him down, slowing him just bit by bit, running low on mana, but it doesn't matter. Eurus has been caught by the net.
Vici Gaming, they take the same bait we've been seeing for so many times in the last couple of days. E.g., they just put Ramses, the unkillable hero, up front. Yeah, in the end he does die, but at what cost? You just lost 5 of your heroes, you got wiped, and now Roche as well.
And look at Abed, by the way, not jumping inside the pit, but grabbing that Winter Wyvern before anything goes up. Mega clutch there, right? A Cold Embrace or Winter's Curse could have turned that engagement when EG was mega grouped up, but...
Really, really good plays by Abed and Abaddon there. Also Ramses, the way he's positioned, he's so far away from everyone else, but they still do believe in him, and they still do connect. That's the thing that these bulky offlaners give you. They give you enough time, even if you're out of position, they give you enough time for your team to respond, and they responded perfectly.
9-19, Evil Geniuses finally get to see a big break in the net worth chart. It's been really even for pretty much the entire game. Vici Gaming never leading by more than 2K, but finally it plummets downward. EG now holding almost a 6K gold lead and about an 8,000 experience lead.
And these big items are coming out for them. You see Storm is actually going for the Aghanims as well. We have seen it a couple of times, but not necessarily this early on recently. I think it's good. If you don't have the chrono, you still can use that as a setup for the AA ult. And he has it, he bought out. He has the Aegis, so he understands that he doesn't really need to save for that buyback. He just needs 500 gold more and he'll have it.
Farm a few more neutrals, maybe sell some items, and it could be game time for Evil Geniuses. This time, they're going to be the ones on the offensive with these timings, like the BKB also on RTZ.
You can see Ori as well. He had the Aghanims queued up, but after the last few engagements, he understood. Guys, I'm just dying. There's no way I get this Aghanims for our combo vombo to work. I need to get the Yules. And I can't blame him, but if he goes for that Yules, you will lack the damage, and your strategy was to get the Aghanims plus the Skewer from Magnus. That's usually how you play it, at least.
Successful scan, trying to find, but it's the most elusive hero of all, the Puck on that high ground. So that rotation is going to be a bit of a whiff there for EG. They'll take anything they can find at this point.
Vici Gaming, at least they're doing a good job at spreading the map at the moment. They were farming the top. Doom was on the bottom lane. But you're scared. You're scared of the mobility that comes from EG. You can see this Abaddon is taking your tower. You can't go on him, obviously. But if you go to farm somewhere else and you show yourself, you're scared of the Chrono plus AA.
They've got a pretty decent way to be able to at least slow down the pushes on these towers thanks to the phase shift attack. Ori almost getting caught here. Waiting Rift attempted on Abed. Misses that one. We'll push the slow down.
Eurus did show himself. This instantly triggers Arteezy. He goes top. He's in the trees though.
Yeah.
Maybe he wants to get to the cliff.
You can't be too greedy if you're Eurus here. Once you show, you can't go for that extra creep wave. You got to back up.
He was hiding. Before that, he was always hiding in the trees, and he was using Shockwave as the farming tool.
Right.
That's good, but as a Magnus that's position 1, you don't really want to be in that position. You want to be farming better. You want to be farming creep waves and the camps too.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
Okay, we have that Aghanim's completed completely on Storm Spirit. He has the quickening charm as well.
It's funny watching that net worth chart just go back up in the favor of Vici Gaming when nothing is really happening and Vici spread around the map. In part because the Mag and Doom, just that natural gold that's flowing in for them. It's helping to even out this game.
Yang is level 17. On that level 15, he gets the plus 150 Devour Gold. Magnus just farms extremely fast.
An Abyssal Blade pickup. Another great way to be able to lock down two very mobile heroes in the Void and the Storm Spirit.
I really think Vici Gaming still have a good shot in this game. Even though they don't control it right now, you have so many good spells for the late game. You have the Doom, you have the RP. You can never count out a team with those big team fight abilities.
Yeah, I mean, Aghanim's puck is incredibly strong, especially since he went the right-click build. He'll build into late game a lot better. If he gets that 420 GPM, who knows what happens, right?
Yeah, his net worth is going to be really high. He also went for the Aghanims after all. He's not going for Yules.
Okay, I mean, I'd much prefer that. When you've got a Mag combination, like, why not try and make use of it? Two different BKB piercing disables on very mobile heroes.
Big smoke coming, all 5 of them. They understood that Aegis will be reclaimed.
Yeah, you could see our Storm Spirit trying to prolong that Aegis regeneration. And did break the smoke of Vici Gaming.
Such a good read from him. Such a good read, because he knew that they will try to get out of their base as soon as the Aegis is reclaimed. He breaks that smoke.
That was quite cute from Abed, and does help them take the tier 2 mid tower. Now Yang, just a small opening, very low committal, nothing big. They're just trying to poke at EG and see what happens.
They're just making them react, that's it. You don't go on Ramses any longer. You understood perfectly well what happens last time, so I think the plan should be to ignore him and switch to the back.
Well, the Winter's Curse on crit. This could be a free pick-off here, as he's going to remain chain stunned.
Really, really well played by DY. He caught him with the Winter's Curse because he also has Glimmer. He didn't go for that greedy Orchid build. He is a position 5 in this game after all, so some extra utility is really good for him.
Some additional initiation now for EG with the level 20 time lock talent. So he can jump a bit farther. Almost has the Satanic, so he can really play the front line at that point. See the respect he's giving to Vici Gaming. Just hits only half a creep wave, then backs up to farm neutrals. Does not want to get picked off like Crit just did.
There's a double damage rune and the bottle dropped right next to it on the bottom lane, so we should see, I believe, the Void pick this up. Arteezy comes in.
Crit just revived. He's TPing to the tier 2 to join his team. Oh. Okay, didn't fill up the bottle. Artur was not paying attention.
That's not great, because now you will smoke, probably. Yeah, they smoke, but they're on a timer with this DD.
It's gonna kind of force EG
into this movement.
To make this movement, and if it goes wrong, you're gonna think in the back of your head, like, what if we just had it in the bottle?
Yeah, it's already on 50%. Look, it's already on 50.
Ramses, he's trying to force something right now. The skewer backwards into the tier 3 is a nice way for Vici Gaming to start a fight in a big advantage, even if it is catching Ramses first. But otherwise, not going to start off on him. BKB now for the Doom. That Vambrace still left out for any support, I guess, that wants to complete it, but nobody does. Everybody wants their mobility items. Blink daggers.
You can't go on Ramses before you get the Blink on Doom and Aghanims, I guess. Then you have the break, you have the silence from the puck. And that's a fairly good win condition for them, because if you do manage to take down Ramses first, the rest of his squad is fairly easy to take down with a couple of disables.
Yeah, that's a pretty interesting idea.
Aghanims.
But it's Aghanims is a long ways away. But when he does get it...
But he did queue it up instantly, so... And he has that extra gold from the Devour. It's one of those heroes that can get it in a couple of minutes, let's say.
Well, the Aegis didn't really do a ton for EG. We'll see whether or not they can get these seconds. As Roshan is about to respawn here. Orchid now up for Abed.
That Orchid also is building towards the Lincoln Sphere, which will obviously help them versus the Doom and the Winter Wyvern. Very, very passive game in the last couple of minutes, though. Not a lot has been happening.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
Yeah, you can see just a lot of farming right now. EG, they take over that triangle for the Radiant, sitting on top of their shrine, taking away this tier 2. This helps them to be able to control the Roshan pit. They also don't want to give up on that vision that they have the high ground. Eurus knows, though, that it leaves him free to be able to push bottom aggressive.
And it's up. Rosh is about to go up. It is. So it's Dire's advantage right now. The fact that they took this area and managed to ward it is a significant advantage when it comes to the Rosh fight.
They've got some pretty good heroes for taking that Roshan too. If Ramses wants to help them do it, he just got the 90 damage talent, plus has the medallion.
On the other hand, you do have good heroes around the pit on the side of Vici Gaming too. If you find too many heroes inside, you can RP them, you have the Winter's Curse. I think that's why they're waiting on the high ground. Look at them.
Yeah.
They're just sitting here waiting for this smoke.
They know eventually Vici Gaming is going to be like, guys, we can't just give up Roshan for free. Let's push through that area. And that's where that high ground vision is particularly effective. But if EG isn't patient enough, they may lose this opportunity.
There's one ward that's completely
They found the initiation onto the Faceless Void. A massive kill if they can get it. Telekinesis preventing Ramses from being able to help out Artur, but he actually managed to get off the mechanic. The RP now coming in. Abed going to be able to lock down the 2 in the back line, but Artur does fall. The 2 supports wiped out real quickly as Ramses helps bring them down, but Eurus being peppered by Ramses. Managed to get the silence up on him while they leave. They're going to TP away, tossed up high, down hard for Eurus as he's going to be brought down with no buyback. PYW, a triple kill for Abed at the end of all that, while Yang going to be chased down as well. Abed out of mana, but just enough to catch Yang and potentially get the ultra kill. Oh, what a silence! He got the Orchid off onto Ori. Ori comes back in and just feeds away. Rampage Abed!
RTZ getting carried again.
It doesn't stop, man. Abed continues to find winning conditions for evil geniuses. They're going to munch up to the high ground.
Great team fight by them. That Aghanims on the Abaddon kept the Void alive for such a long time. They couldn't take down RTZ. I loved his positioning. Yeah, he did get doomed, but he bought enough time for Abed to jump into the backlines. At first you said the 2 supports are instantly dead. It wasn't the supports, it was the puck and one more. But he looks like a support. Once you get on top of him, he's so squishy.
His Storm Seer makes him look like nothing once he's locked down. Looks like the melee racks. Oh, they may have just found another opening. Grabs both the supports now with the Ice Blast coming in hot. BYW and D1.
Who needs the chrono?
They're just gone. Winter's Curse onto. Okay, that's a nice stun setup here. They want to be able to catch more.
He buybacks. I believe the plan is to go Rosh Pit. Yeah, instantly. Puck is up in 25 seconds, but I don't believe that Vici Gaming are ready for this. Oh, well.
Oh, they're just going to go
take
for
that
it.
back. Yeah.
Vici Gaming. We're trying to play this fast, getting a little desperate.
If you don't go in.
But at the end of the day, well, Ramses actually doesn't have his ultimate, so he is going to be falling here. The Euphonic Shield can only buy him so much time as PYW brings him down, but the rest, they want to be able to catch more.
He buybacks. I believe the plan is to go Rosh Pit. Yeah, instantly. Puck is up in 25 seconds, but I don't believe that Vici Gaming are ready for this. Oh, well.
Oh, they're just going to go
take
for
that
it.
back. Yeah.
Vici Gaming. We're trying to play this fast, getting a little desperate.
If you don't go in, if you don't disrupt this, you can't win.
They have 6 seconds till the RP is back up, but Roshan is falling so fast. Somebody's got to get inside the pit and stop this right now. But there is going to be crit. Look at him, just running in to make sure they can finish off Roshan freely, and now Vici Gaming have to retreat. But Abed, he knows that whoever he grabs at this point in time could be victim to dying with no buyback. That's why he's just running headlong in. Same goes with Arteezy right now, as he does have the Chronosphere up.
They're trying to find them, but they aren't able to. Arteezy, for some reason, he didn't go with the Storm. Instead, he went for the Rubik. I think maybe if he followed up on the Magnus and the Doom, that could have been a little bit better for them. But they're in a really, really strong position right now. You have the Cheese on the Storm Spirit. I believe the Aegis has been picked up by the Void. Arteezy will not be able to die any longer.
Successful game of hide and seek for VG Gaming, gets them out without losing anybody there around the Roshan pit, but they are now 12K net worth in the hole against Evil Geniuses and left without a tier 3 mid.
It's difficult for them really to come back. If you're a VG Gaming fan right now, you must be feeling not too great. You have the Abyssal on the Magnus, you have the RP and the Doom, but you have to use these spells perfectly on the Void to take him down so that you have 2 chances, because he has that Aegis. And even without that Aegis, he has the Abaddon right next to him all the time, healing him up with that Aghanim Scepter.
Can even now give him a Solar Crest. As Ramses completes that, they're just going to let Arteezy push onto the high ground almost by himself. Ramses going to hit the range barrier, so he's a little bit separated from Artur. Wants to make sure they don't get caught in a big Winter's Curse or
some skewer back, right?
Yeah, skewer back would be make this fight a little bit harder. Eurus forced to blink away from Artur.
He isn't really interested in heroes at the moment. He's just taking down objectives. Skewer back.
Skewer back onto the tier 4s, trying to chain it with the Centaur Sun, misses, and Arteezy turns around, goes for the Chronosphere with the Ice Blast. The Cold Embrace is going to be able to save that damage, and look at that! PYW throws the Chronosphere right back in their face, locking down 3 of them. Abed, oh, the Winter's Curse! It caught Abed right! He jumps in, they're going to be able to get the Doom onto Ramses. Abed successfully jumps himself away, but they do manage to get the ultimate off onto the Abaddon. Maybe that wasn't locked down. RP actually whipping Abed as he dances to and fro, dancing around VG Gaming is taking them out. They have a buyback onto Eurus inside of the pit. Artur, what are you doing there? Can he actually get out to the end when he disables Abed? They need to be able to bail out Arteezy right now. Abed losing all of his mana, but Arteezy does manage to get outside of the fountain here. 3 dead on the side of VG Gaming, and that is it. VG Gaming.
They call it.
Call it here. Evil Geniuses. They get their revenge against VG Gaming here in the lower bracket, and they're heading to the grand finals.
The last hope of NA, or the last CIS hope in Ramses as well. Wow, what a game. The panel, they definitely believed in the VG Gaming's draft. It looked solid. They had this Magnus, they had the puck, but it was so much harder to execute. Abaddon just completely messes up their playstyle. They were usually the ones that abused the Abaddon. They were usually the ones that would go for Yang on that hero, but EG steal their strategy somewhat and take it home.
And so in the 5th series of this DPC season, Evil Geniuses will come out a total score of 8-5 to the favor of VG Gaming, but EG win when it matters the most. EG.
What's a series, man? What's a series?
An incredible series indeed. EG, they're going to have to think long and hard, though, because at the end of the day, it's Team Secret, the final raid boss, that is waiting in the grand finals.
Such a high skill level of all the games that we have watched in the last couple of days.
We'll see whether or not the grand finals doesn't disappoint as Dream League Season 13. Even more action coming up soon.
Mysterious shadow sightings all around the city. According to experts, the origin of these shadows is
At Vici, we kept looking at Secret, and we said that nobody could touch them. We said that nobody was going to be able to tear down that wall. Well, look, EG just tore down that wall, and let's see how far they will be able to go. And right now, we have a very special treat. Ooh. Before the grand final, we get to talk to Fly. Ladies and gentlemen, make some noise for Fly!
Hello.
How you doing? Congratulations, my man. I've been seeing you throughout pretty much the entire event, and I feel like the entire time, you guys have had a pretty good outlook on the entirety of this tournament, but finally cracking that 3G curse. Does that feel nice at this major?
I don't know if the curse applies to this new team yet. You know, the last major we got, I think, 4th place. So it's been pretty good, but beating Vici is like, you know, a big deal for us. Like, we're super happy.
Yeah, I feel like when we actually had a chance to talk to Arteezy maybe a day or two ago, I'm trying to remember how long ago it was, he talked even more about Vici than he really talked about Secret. Was this a team that you were maybe even more scared of than Secret?
I think just because of what happened to us in last tournament and we kept losing to them, we just respect them a lot. I don't think we got a chance to play Secret in this tournament, but you know, obviously they're an incredible team. They 2-0'd Vici, which is quite a feat in itself.
Yeah, definitely quite a feat.
I think, so just going back to those last, I mean, you don't have to give anything away, obviously, if the grand finals coming up, but that AA first pick had, you know, some of us stumped. Was it just like decided right on the spot?
We had a few ideas going around. We had to make a final decision. We like just went with basically no regrets. Whatever happens, happens after this, and you know, you had to go.
Yeah, and 2-0 in that last series is AA. You have to feel pretty good.
Yeah, AA is back. You know, Poppy showed me the way. You gotta learn from the top dogs after all. So.
You silenced chat too. Chat during the draft, there were a few Lobas. I'm not gonna lie, there were a few 3Gs, and then all of a sudden, you know, after it happens, they all had to. But also, I mean, we had some people on the panel who weren't 100% sure about that draft.
Biggest out draft of the series, I believe you both said.
No, Sin's words. I did concur, but
yeah, I'll gladly own up to it. I thought Vici's strategy looked extremely strong in that game, and I think you beat them on play. So that doesn't make it any less impressive for me. Whether you agree with it or not, you obviously feel very confident in your strategy. But what do you feel? Do you agree? Did you think your strategy was stronger in this game, weaker, or what was the reason you won?
I think one thing that's really important for a team is that if you're able to play good enough that you can beat anyone even with a worse draft, that makes you a good team. So whether this draft was better or worse, I'm not entirely sure. I think they got comfort picks and we got comfort picks. You know, we have heroes we're happy to play, Abed's on his Storm, you know, I'm on my A. It's like heroes we like to play, and they got their Dooms and Rubiks and whatnot. So I'm not sure if it's an outdraft or not. I just think, yeah, you're right. We did get to play better this game, which is what matters in the end.
Yeah, absolutely.
And it got you to the grand final. So ultimately, we want to congratulate you one more time. Best of luck playing against Secret. Ladies and gentlemen, make some noise